Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I'd like to return back to the US but take a look at something slightly different. That is a US kosher meal. Now these come as two separate packs. They come as their main meal and a separate accessory pack. This particular one is New Orleans Gumbo with chicken. So let's get these on a table and see what these packs contain. And so, as you can see, I now have here on the table this US kosher MRE, and as it just says, you can see they come in two individual parts. You get the main meal separately and an individual accessory pack. So when I was having a look ready for filming, I did want to have a look at the contents of this New Orleans gumbo with chicken, and to be honest, I'm quite surprised, shocked and worried. I don't know if you can see the actual ingredients in what should be a very simplistic meal. And the scary part is, after you're halfway down, you start to get the chemicals. So I don't know if you want to pause there and start looking down. We're starting to get things like calcium phosphate of sorbic, I can't even say that, biotin, parlimate, niacin, calcium, zinc oxide. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I thought, just out of comparison, I shall just grab one of my British Army ones, and out of comparison, this is their Indonesian style rice with pork, and I hope they can pick this up. Nothing but natural ingredients: rice, onions, mushrooms, tomatoes, black peppers, tomato puree, soy sauce, beans, salt, spirit vinegar, garlic, coriander, and if you read all the way down, finishes off with black pepper. No chemical content. Now both of these last the same length of time. This is the US, this is the British. I do not usually like to call a country, but can anyone tell me why the US wants to feed its troops that when it lasts just as long as that? But that aside, I'm not here to criticise the chemical content. I'm here to have a look at the meal itself. So we shall start by opening the New Orleans gumbo with chicken. As you can see, comes in a separate brown pack, certified and inspected to be kosher. So we just open this up in a brown box, and it is a typical US military style pouch. So let's put that to one side, and then we're going to have a look at the accessory packs. No easy open strip, so we'll just bring in a friend to open the top there. And first off, we have a little complimentary slip from the makers, and on the back of there, I've noticed, I don't know if you want like to pause and read that, there is a best wishes to the serving troops and a thank you for their service type announcement. So that's a nice little touch there. They also contain, like the British Army, a pack of 5 tissues. This, I must admit, is better than the usual US TP. We have the standard US FRH. There is a vegan brownie. First time I've seen one of those. There is a smaller, not as good, spoon and napkin. We also have a protein rich hot chocolate drink, just about to see it there. There is some tortillas. See if we can get them all in shot. We have some dried diced mango, so some dried fruit. We also have some crunchy power mix. There is a little packet of white tipped book matches. Put those there. Keep going, keep going. There is some iced tea, which also feels like it's compromised. It might just be the way it is, but that feels very stiff. Some iced tea. I think this is a wet nap. And we have what I think is some salt and some pepper. So this is the contents of the US Kosher MRE. So let's get these out on a tray and see what they look and taste like. And so, as you can see, I now have here laid out on the tray this US New Orleans Gumbo with chicken, the kosher menu. The first thing I'm going to have to do is open the little spoon and serviette that came with this pack. As you can see, it's not as good as the US MRE spoon, but we shall go see how we get on with that. And there's a little paper serviette. So, starting off with the drinks, I've been given the chicken gumbo 10 to 12 minutes boiling, so I'm going to start by making the protein rich hot chocolate. So, just in a little foil mylar bag, we shall slip that across, and as always just pour that into my hot drink. This is the hot drink. We have iced tea for the cold. So just make sure I get all of that powder in there. It's taking its time coming out. So it's just a sort of typical looking chocolate drink. I'm using some boiled water. We shall give that about 1/2 to 3/4 of a mug initially. As I always say, you can add but you cannot take away. So it's always better to be on the safe side. Good mix, get that well mixed in there. And I'm just going to use this serviette to wipe the spoon. So I need that spoon now for the iced tea. Now, iced tea is not something we have here in the UK. We do have iced tea, but not in sachets like this. We normally make it with actual tea and lemon, but there is 2, so I'm assuming 2 goes into a glass. Oh, that unfortunately looks to me as I suspected. It's compromised, it's not survived, and there is a sort of film, so I'm not going to use that one. We'll just have a look at the other. This one feels just the same, so it's beginning to look like it is. That's a solid block, not good. We have lost the iced tea, so they don't stand the test of time. Throw that away. So it looks like for the cold drink, troops would always have water. So for the cold drink, we are just going to have some water. Now working my way around, we have some dried diced mango. So if you just open that and pour some in there. That's about 1/3 of a bag. There's about twice the amount still in there, but it's more than enough just for demonstration. I'll just put that to one side there. We also have some crunchy power mix. Again, we shan't be putting them all in, just a good selection just to try them. So they look like mixed nuts and peas and various grains and seeds. Again, that is just a small portion of quite a large bag there. So as you can see, there's still quite a lot left, just a small portion of those. Have a look next at these tortillas. Again, this, I didn't warm these up. Sometimes these are better if they're warmed. Wow. Wow. It's not what I was expecting. In the US MREs, normally they are large, well, larger tortillas and folded in half. These are 3 little, I don't know, bite-sized tortillas. I was expecting them to be bigger. That's what I was wowing at. They have a vegan brownie, which looks like it is double bagged, obviously for freshness. So we shall need to open the double bagged vegan brownie. So a nice little square of some chocolate brownie there. And last but not least, I'm getting chocolate brownie all over everything. We'll have a look at the gumbo with chicken. New Orleans gumbo with chicken. Nice and hot. Ouch, ouch, ouch. It smells almost like a soup. It's nice and thick. Nice smell. It smells like a soup. Meaty vegetable soup. We have the wet nap on standby and salt and pepper on standby also. So I'm going to start, well I normally like to start having a look at this chocolate drink. So this is a protein drink. Not the usual chocolate. It's, I think, as a chocolate substitute. There is cocoa in there, but it's not the usual standard. It is sweet. There is a cardboard sort of background taste to it. It's drinkable. It's creamy, but I'm not convinced it's real cream. More like a sort of whitener, glucose syrup whitener. It's very sweet. The chocolate has a strange aftertaste, but it is a warm chocolate style drink. Just has a cardboard sort of taste, aftertaste to it. Just refresh my palate there. This should have been the iced tea. Okay. So I think we should probably go straight to the New Orleans gumbo with chicken. So it looks, there's rice in there, some chicken in there, some peppers, some onion, some chickpeas, so some lentils. Let's just have a little taste of the sauce first. It's thick, it's salted, it's peppered. There is sufficient salt and pepper. There's some herbs in there. I'm not sure on the herbs, mixed herbs. It is like a canned chicken and vegetable soup. In the UK we have chicken and vegetable soup. That's the sort of taste. Chicken is cooked. It is seasoned enough. It's filling. It's, well, tasty. Certainly, I said filling, but you do need something to go with it. This is not the sort of thing that you could put in a wrap or in a tortilla and eat. So really all you can do is sort of add the tortillas to the dish and sort of eat it like a bread bulking agent. If you was to try and pick that up in the tortilla, it would just be down the front of your shirt, making a right mess all over the floor. So really all you can really do is either dip it or drop it in. That does help soak up some of the juices. Helps beef up the meal. Try the tortillas on their own. I normally try them first on their own. Very simple. White wheat flour tortillas. A little aftertaste with there. Not sure what that is. probably some chemical preservative. The amount of chemicals in the gumbo, a few more in the tortillas wouldn't matter. When they're mixed in though with the gumbo, you can't taste that taste, so that's the way to go. Mix them all in, bulking agent, soaking agent for some of those juices, and that way is really the best and only way to eat those. But they do help bulk out the meal. Bit of chicken there. Chicken is very soft. Everything is very soft, very easy to chew, but it is flavoursome. There's a slight kick, very slight background chili kick, but it is very, very way in the background. It's tasty, it is enjoyable, it's just not very huge in size. Let's have a look at this vegan brownie. Quite dry, it snaps easily, soft. Very dry, very, very dry. Again, I don't think that, with it being a vegan chocolate, that's not a regular sort of chocolate. It's artificially made, very heavy on the sugar. Sugar crystals, you can feel them as you chew. It's chocolate flavoured. I'd say there's cocoa in there, but not the milk and things you normally have with chocolate. It's sweet, very dry, very thirst provoking, but it's a piece of sweetness. Certainly an energy boost where you probably need it most. A taste of the protein drink. Actually, I've just had a thought about that. To help with the dryness, you might be able to just dunk a piece of that brownie. So I've dunked it in the chocolate. That certainly helps. Certainly helps with the dryness. I'm glad I thought about that. Very dry, very crumbly, but a little bit of a dunk in the chocolate actually enhances it quite a lot. So that's the secret. You need to dunk them. That's a nice combination. That actually really lifts up the chocolate brownie. Now move on to some of these dried mango pieces. As it suggests, it's just little pieces of dried mango. Dry, sweet. Says what it is on the tin. Dry mango. Most people around the world have had dried fruit, I'm sure. It's exactly what it is. Little cubes of mango. It's sweet, it's soft. Again, another nice little bit of sweetness. You could throw a handful in your mouth with a chunk of the chocolate brownie, just to get that chocolate brownie an extra dimension. I'm just going to try that. Excuse fingers. I'm just going to have some of those with some of the chocolate brownie. That's not a problem. It does enhance both. Very high sugar content. Now, a little bit of this sort of crunchy mix. There is all sorts going on here. I can see some peas, I can see some beans, I can see some peanuts, some corn, some sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds. So there's a mixture of all sorts of beans, seeds, pulses. It is salted. It's like having a combination of salted peanuts, other crispies, It is nice. It's tasty. Everything is salted, which really helps. So, just like eating salted peanuts with a little extra texture, flavour and crunch, but that's not a bad little snacking snack. Don't think you would want to mix mango, because that is salt and sweet. So give it a go. Sometimes salt and sweet does work. You could. You certainly could go salt and sweet. I'm wondering now if a few in the gumbo would add a little bit extra texture and crunch to the gumbo. So I'm trying that. A few of those salted. Probably not the best way to go, but it's doable. You'd be better off, I think, just eating those as a trail mix. Those tortillas are soaking up the juices, really enhancing the meal. It does need it. It's a small meal, but by adding the tortillas and mixing and matching, there's a lot of sugar, it does turn into a reasonably tasty meal. Apart from this scary chemical content, overall it wasn't too bad. I still don't know why the US can't make a kosher ration which looks on par with their usual brown bag. Obviously maybe with different ingredients, because these look nothing like them, but this one certainly was better than my last one. Let's have one last look at this wet nap. Just like the standard US ones, paper based, not overly wet, just slightly moist. Not the best wet nap out there, but you do feel like it's just giving it a moistening. If you were sticky with a little bit of gumbo on your hands, it would help just to remove the gumbo, but I don't think it would do very good at cleaning your hands if your troops out in the field. So overall, just about a satisfactory meal. Better than I expected. I say as I find, I was surprised. Highly chemicalised though, highly chemicalised, and that's still a bugbear of mine. I still don't know why. But I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you and goodbye.